From translation, ISV International Standard Version. This 56th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Numbers 33 to 34. Numbers chapter 33, verses 1 to 56. These are the stages of the journey of the Israelites when they went out of the land of Egypt by their divisions under the leadership of Moses and Aaron. Moses recorded their departure points according to their journeys by the command of the Lord. The following is their journey by stages. They departed from Ramesses in the first month, on the 15th day of the first month. On the day after the Passover, the Israelites went out triumphantly in the sight of all the Egyptians. The Egyptians were burying all their firstborn, whom the Lord had struck down among them. The Lord had executed judgments against their gods. The Israelites traveled from Ramesses and camped at Sukkot. They traveled from Sukkot and camped at Etham, which is on the edge of the wilderness. They traveled from Etham, turned back to Pi-hahiroth, which is opposite Baal-zephon, and camped before Migdol. They traveled from Pi-hahiroth and crossed through the middle of the sea into the wilderness. They traveled for 3 days in the wilderness of Etham, and camped at Marah. They traveled from Marah and came to Elim, where there were 12 springs of water and 70 palm trees, and they camped there. They traveled from Elim and camped by the Red Sea. They traveled from the Red Sea and camped in the wilderness of Sin. They traveled from the wilderness of Sin and camped at Dophkah. They traveled from Dophkah and camped at Alush. They traveled from Alush and camped at Rephidim, where there was no water for the people to drink. They traveled from Rephidim and camped in the wilderness of Sinai. They traveled from the wilderness of Sinai and camped at Kibroth-Hattaavah. They traveled from Kibroth-Hattaavah and camped at Hazeroth. They traveled from Hazeroth and camped at Rithmah. They traveled from Rithmah and camped at Rimmon Perez. They traveled from Rimmon Perez and camped at Libnah. They traveled from Libnah and camped at Rissah. They traveled from Rissah and camped at Kehilassa. They traveled from Kehilassa and camped at Mount Shephah. They traveled from Mount Shephah and camped at Haradah. They traveled from Haradah and camped at Machiloth. They traveled from Machiloth and camped at Tahas. They traveled from Tahas and camped at Terah. They traveled from Terah and camped at Mizkah. They traveled from Mizkah and camped at Hashmonah. They traveled from Hashmonah and camped at Mosroth. They traveled from Mosroth and camped at Bene-Jaakan. They traveled from Bene-Jaakan and camped at Hor-Haggidgad. They traveled from Hor-Haggidgad and camped at Jotbatha. They traveled from Jotbatha and camped at Abronah. They traveled from Abronah and camped at Ezion-Geber. They traveled from Ezion-Geber and camped at Kadesh in the wilderness of Zin. They traveled from Kadesh and camped at Mount Hor, on the edge of the land of Edom. Aaron the priest ascended Mount Hor at the command of the Lord, and died there in the 40th year after the Israelites had come out of the land of Egypt, on the 1st day of the 5th month. Aaron was 123 years old when he died on Mount Hor. The Canaanite king of Arad, who lived in the Negev in the land of Canaan, heard that the Israelites were coming. They traveled from Mount Hor and camped at Zalmonah. They traveled from Zalmonah and camped at Punon. They traveled from Punon and camped at Oboth. They traveled from Oboth and camped at Ijebarim on the border of Moab. They traveled from Ijebarim and camped at Dibon-Gad. They traveled from Dibon-Gad and camped at Almon-Diblatime. They traveled from Almon-Diblatime and camped in the mountains of Abarim before Nebo. They traveled from the mountains of Abarim and camped in the plains of Moab by the Jordan River, across from Jericho. They camped by the Jordan River, from Beth-Jeshemoth to Abel-Shittim in the plains of Moab. The Lord spoke to Moses on the plains of Moab by the Jordan River across from Jericho, saying, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you cross the Jordan River into the land of Canaan, you must drive out all the inhabitants of the land before you, destroy all their stone images, and demolish all their metal idols. You must take possession of the land and settle in it, because I have given the land to you to possess it. You must divide the land by lot among your families. To the larger group you will give a larger inheritance, and to the smaller group you will give a smaller inheritance. Wherever the lot falls for someone, that will be his. You must divide the land according to your ancestral tribes. But if you do not drive out the inhabitants of the land before you, those whom you allow to remain will become barbs in your eyes and thorns in your sides, and will harass you in the land where you are living. And what I had planned to do to them, I will do to you." Numbers chapter 34, verses 1 to 29. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Command the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land of Canaan, this will be the land that will fall to you as an inheritance, the land of Canaan according to its boundaries. Your southern side will be from the wilderness of Zin along the border of Edom. Your southern boundary will begin at the east end of the Dead Sea. Your border will turn south of the ascent of Akrabim and continue to Zin. It will proceed south of Kadesh Barnea and continue to Hazar-Adar, and then to Asmon. The border will then turn from Asmon to the brook of Egypt and extend to the Mediterranean Sea. As for the western boundary, you will have the Mediterranean Sea as your boundary. This will be your western boundary. This will be your northern boundary. From the Mediterranean Sea draw a line to Mount Hor, from Mount Hor to the entrance of Hamath, and the continuation of the border to Zedad. Then the border will continue to Ziphron and extend to Hazar Enan. This will be your northern boundary. As for your eastern boundary, you will draw a line from Hazar Enan to Shechem, and the border will continue down from Shechem to Riblah, on the east side of Ain. It will continue down and along the eastern slope of the Sea of Galilee, and the border will continue to the Jordan River and extend to the Dead Sea. This will be your land according to its boundaries on all sides. Moses commanded the Israelites, saying, "This is the land you are to receive by lot as your inheritance, which the Lord has commanded to be given to the 9 tribes and the half-tribe. For the tribe of the Reubenites and the Gadites have received their inheritance according to their fathers' households, as have the half-tribe of Manasseh. But the other half of the tribe of Manasseh has received its inheritance among the rest of the Israelites. These 2 tribes and the half-tribe of Manasseh have received their inheritance beyond the Jordan River to the east, which Moses the servant of the Lord gave them. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, These are the names of the men who will divide the land for you, Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. You are also to appoint 1 leader from each tribe to divide the land for inheritance. These are the names of the men. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Simeon, Shemuel son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Kislon. From the tribe of the descendants of Joseph. From the tribe of Manasseh, a leader named Kenaz son of Joseph. And from the tribe of Ephraim, a leader named Kemuel son of Shifton. From the tribe of Zebulun, Elizaphan son of Parnak. From the tribe of Issachar, Paltiel son of Azan. From the tribe of Asher, Ahihud son of Shelomi. From the tribe of Naphtali, Pedahel son of Ammihud. These are the men whom the Lord commanded to divide the land to the Israelites in the land of Canaan. These are the names of the priests who will divide the land for the Israelites, Eleazar the priest and Joshua son of Nun. These are the names of the leaders who will divide the land for them. From the tribe of Judah, Caleb son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Simeon, Shemuel son of Ammihud. From the tribe of Benjamin, Elidad son of Kislon. From the tribe of Manasseh, Kenaz son of Joseph. From the tribe of Ephraim, Kemuel son of Shifton. From the tribe of Zebulun, Elizaphan son of Parnak. From the tribe of Issachar, Paltiel son of Azan. From the tribe of Asher, Ahihud son of Shelomi. And from the tribe of Naphtali, Pedahel son of Ammihud.